Eat like a
So
king.
I'm the only person in this bloody household that likes Taco Bell. So the only time I have
What?
Taco Bell is when
A feast for a
everyone
king.
else is everyone else has already eaten, and then
Mm.
it's like, oh, okay, you'll went out for dinner without me. I get it. I was in work until 8 p.m. I understand.
That's right.
Taco Bell,
That's
baby.
right.
When my
Well, I'll be
when
right
my
back. Keep
wife and
talking.
I go when my wife and I first started dating, she lived with her mom, and we
Mhm.
would get out of classes from college, and I would bring her home, or we would go hang out at her house, and she had a Taco Bell like right there at the corner. So when we get
Oh,
done studying or whatever, it would be like 1, 2 in the morning, and we would just walk to the
Taco
Taco
Bell was
Bell.
there for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like, give me the family box meal. And then we would just go back home and eat a bunch of tacos and burritos, and then go to bed. But
So like,
right.
I don't eat out enough. Like I don't get fast food really that frequently. But the problem is when I do, I fucking go big. I go too big every single time. So
Mm,
it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get like Five Guys. I'm gonna
God,
go
Five
get
Guys.
Little Caesars. I'm gonna get all these things, and it's gonna be so much shit that it's just gonna make me feel like horrifically bad.
Little Caesars, though, Five Guys, like you could easily spend what, like $25 just on yourself. But Little Caesars, like you could spend $30 and have a meal for
For the
a
fucking two
family.
weeks.
Yeah. Especially, I love getting just whenever they do like dumb promotional stuff, like the pretzels, like the stuffed pretzel crust things, or like
I love that fucking that crust is really good.
when that Batman movie came out a while ago, and they had those pizzas that were in the shape of the Batman symbol,
Hmm.
and it would be half calzone, half regular pizza. It was like, man, that was the dumbest but best thing ever. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to eat the calzone, and I'm going to eat a regular pizza. It's like, oh, this one's got stuffed crust. And I'm going to send my message right now that when the kids go to bed, we're getting Taco Bell.
Oh, I have leftovers from day before yesterday, I think. Oh,
I'm going to get a response back from her being like, what the hell are you people talking about? It's like, don't you worry about it. You're just along for the ride. Yeah, her response, okay.
uh-huh.
Okay. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Sure.
Fantastic. All right, getting started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpier
Hi.
and the Nymph.
Hello.
A quick plug here: we have a brand new episode of Game Club out right now. Our journeys across the Olympic exclusion zone here
Uh-huh.
in Pacific Drive. Go
Woo.
check that out. Some surprising twists and turns in that episode. Go check that out right now.
Was that a driving joke?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's nope.
Uh-huh.
Nope. You can check that out. Our brand new game that we're going to play after that is Mini Shoot Adventures. So we're going to play that for this next month's episode. Check that out. It's in the feed right now if you're listening to the audio version. If you're watching us live, hi. It'll be out soon, tonight.
Hi.
Also, don't forget to check us out, patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
It's got it all over there. Fun for a $5, $5 a month tier. You get
I'm so
exclusive.
hungry because of you guys. I'm so hungry.
Yeah,
Dude, I can't.
You want a really good food cast? You got it this week in the Outcast, our exclusive, uncensored, talking about other stuff than video games episode over there. You get the $2 or higher tier. You get early access to We Rogue Like It. You get early access to Critical Misses. You get exclusive access to Critical Misses production meetings. Kind of see how the sausage is made. Get all the behind the scenes cool stuff. Very casual episode. And then you get exclusive access to Wayward Sons, which is the Supernatural TV show watchcast that Moon and Imp are going through. You get all of that and more patreon.com/E1M1.
One's on numbers.
All right, Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
So I have not been playing a lot because Game Club destroyed my time. A lot. The Game Club destroyed my time a lot.
Yeah.
Along with technical difficulties. Go listen to every pre-show we've done for a while to talk on Discord for that stuff. So I really only played 2 games that I can think of off the top of my head. 3 games.
Oh.
Final Lies of P check-in. I did it. I finally got the golden lie.
Yes.
It's a staff. It's cool. I didn't use it on a single enemy because as soon as I unlocked it, I took it to the training dummies. I hit them a couple of times. I unequipped it, and then I uninstalled the game.
I
need
say,
my space back.
Yeah.
So badly. I need it. I need it all. Lies of P is great. Y'all should go play Lies of P. It's on Game Pass, and hopefully the DLC comes out and it's a banger as well.
Fingers
There
crossed.
seems to be a history with Souls games where the DLC just ends up being really, really good for most of them. So hopefully that ends up coming out in this year, and hopefully it ends up being great. At that point, I'll figure out if I want to go back in, because I'm traditionally a non-DLC player. Like, I don't do DLC generally.
Especially for somebody who's lost the muscle memory for.
Well, that's the thing.
That's
a lot
the
of the
concern.
DLCs tend to be, it's like, oh yeah, this is harder than anything in the original game. And I'm like, but I'm still trying to get blocked down again.
Yeah, like I finished it a year ago. I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So I read a bunch of posts about people talking about like the DLC announcement, and a bunch of people were like, yeah, well, I'm gonna have to start this game again because I did the Dark Souls DLC on like New Game Plus Plus, and oh boy, was that a terrible idea.
I bet.
And I only have a save at New Game Plus Plus for this, so
Oh boy. Okay.
I don't want to face bosses for the first time when they can one-shot me. You know, it's just no.
Right.
I'm not in that headspace. But it's Lies of P. It's great. You've had me talk about it for a while. Y'all should go play it. Nim should reinstall it and go for the full gamer score. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, it's still installed. I never uninstalled it.
It's not going anywhere.
No, seriously, the only reason I haven't gone back to it is because Stellar Blade's control layout is just slightly askewed compared to Lies of P. And it's just going to screw me if I try to switch back and
Try to
forth.
juggle them both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played about 90 minutes so far of Little Kitty Big City. The wholesome game came out on Game Pass. Who else is playing this? I know Nimp, you started it. Did you keep playing it this week?
Yes, I completed it.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yep.
I did the ducks, so that's where I'm up to for those who are curious. I got the family of ducks together. It seems very open, like very just do what you feel like doing kind of thing. Like there is no like checklist like Goose Game has. It's just, hey, here's a world, talk to animals, meet some animals, do some tasks.
Your only objective is like get back to your apartment that's way high up.
Yeah.
Yes, which you need fishies for.
And there are tasks that you can do, but they're pretty much just all, I believe they're all tied to achievements.
Pretty
that
much.
Whole list. Yeah.
If I fit, I sit.
Yeah.
The naps.
The napping, yeah.
Yes.
Talking with all the animals and stuff.
The nap spots, all that kind of stuff. I did meet the Tanuki, who I did immediately call a raccoon because they look like a raccoon. So,
right.
Oh, I have news about the Tanuki.
I'm sure she's a nightmare.
No, mine glitched out.
Oh no!
So my game doesn't have a Tanuki. So you meet her by pulling her out of a trash can, and then she sends you to go get feathers. I think you had to get like 3.
I think so.
So I was like, all right, cool. So I went to go get the feathers, and then I come back, and I'm like, where's the Tanuki? It's not here.
Right.
And I talked with my daughter because she's playing it as well, and she's like, oh yeah, the Tanuki was there, and she was telling me about how she was already in the construction site.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but
because you get a fast travel portal.
Yeah, and it opens up the fast travel portal so you can get over to that side. Since the Tanuki is gone in my game, I couldn't do that.
Oh.
And I looked it up, and apparently it is a bug. Not a lot of people, but like a handful of people have been not complaining, but I guess bringing this up. And if you're on PC, there's a file. It's like the whole Skyrim thing. There's a file that you can change that will bring it back, so that way you can go back to interacting with it. But on console, we have to wait for a patch. But for the construction site, if you climb the building that's opposite of that, from the top, you can jump.
You can just drop in.
Just barely make it over the fence. So that's how I was able to get over there now. And then I pulled the little planter out of the way so I could do the little shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like the only thing I am missing now is just the ability to fast travel and the ability to even do whatever quest it is that Tanuki gives you for the feathers that you can catch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they just came out with a patch this week, I think. I wonder if it fixed that.
Yeah, I was going to keep an eye on it, because it doesn't seem like I was able to beat the game without using it. And in fact, I didn't even know fast travel was an option until I was watching my daughter play, and I was like, wait a minute, what did you just do?
Right, how did you...
like, oh, come on.
What's this Doctor Who business?
Yeah, going down the trippy wormhole sewer grates.
Yeah.
Yep. So that sucks that I missed out on that, but also... it wasn't a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Which the Tanuki is also the reason why the town is flooded and there are no cars. Because all the pipes burst.
Yeah.
Because the Tanuki did something with the space-time and flooded the area. So that's why there's no cars. That's why there's water everywhere.
I will say,
fun.
too,
it's cute.
Once you beat the game, I'm not going to spoil anything. There's not a whole lot to it anyway, but you do get on your map. They do go through and mark like everything on your map once you've beaten the game.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you pretty much just pick up from your apartment at that point.
Oh, okay.
So,
nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I think the controls are a little twitchy. Like I felt like Goose Game was extremely dialed in to what it was trying to do, whereas I feel like the controls in this are a little bit stubborn at times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I love the way it looks. I love the stupid hats. I love the animations. I love the emotes. Ridiculously cute.
Yeah, they're really good.
It's a cute, fun little game that I'm using to bounce off of Lies of P and the other games I am grinding / headbutting myself against.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Game Club, and We Roguelike It.
The polar opposite thematically of Pacific Drive. Where, as you said, the vibes are bad.
Yes, the vibes in this, the vibes are good and the vibes are good. In Pacific Drive, the vibes are good and the vibes are bad.
Pacific Drive is definitely not a Blue Sky game.
No,
it's a Black Sky game.
That's right.
Yes, it's you're lucky there is a Sky kind of game.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't know. Little Kitty Big City's being fun. I'm looking forward to just chilling out in it a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing I really played this week, to be completely honest, was Lethal Company. We jumped in on Friday with 60 mods.
So many.
Equipped. There was a new monster.
Did you guys
that
find
I saw? There's several at least in the mod sets that I got. The one I got horrified me, like to the degree that like when you first see the bracken, when you first play the game and you don't know what it does, and you first see the bracken, that shiver that goes through you, where you're just like, I don't know what that is, but I just saw eyes at the end of this corridor, and now I'm panicking. Like that's gone away for me when it comes to the bracken now, because it's just like, who cares? It's just the bracken. Like
it's a solved problem.
Yeah. I know what I'm supposed to do, and then if I don't do it and I die, then that's on me. Sure thing. There was a time when I ran up the stairs into a bracken, and we were literally like nose to nose, and I was like, "Well, I'm dead." Pretty much. It got Bills first, which was the hilarious part. But this new monster, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does. I don't know what the trigger is. All I know is it was screaming at me.
That's
cool. That's what we need.
But not in like fun, like scary screams. More like fun horror screams, like victim horror screams.
Oh no!
And it just didn't stop the entire time.
Boy.
until eventually it came after me. And the only reason it didn't kill me was because I had a coil head in the doorway blocking it from getting past the coil head.
Oh, you had other problems. That's why.
Yeah.
Yes. I had one problem. That one problem became two. That two became three. You know, the usual Lethal Company issues.
Yeah.
We did see one of the new interiors, which is an elevator map. Literally
was
has
really
an
cool.
elevator.
Oh.
Horrifyingly loud, I will say that elevator is.
Oh. Boy.
There's a whole bunch of new scrap in there. There's a bunch of like more stuff in there. It's great. It's stupid. It's fun. It's scary. It's horrifying. And the more people there are, genuinely speaking, like when there's 4 of us, it's fun. When there's 5 of us, it's a little chaotic and fun. When there's 6 people, it seems that that's the peak performance because everyone scatters like cockroaches in the light as soon as you head into that door. Everyone just goes their own disparate ways, and then before you know it, you're hearing screaming through the walls, or someone's on the radio complaining about something chasing them.
The weirdest thing was when we all scattered one time because there's new items, and all of a sudden you just hear Weezer playing randomly, and you're like, who's listening to music? But of course nobody can hear you because we didn't have radios at that point in time. Yep,
So
turns out there's a new guitar called the Wheeze guitar.
Yes. And it plays the Weezer riff. Like if you know Weezer, you know the riff.
Yeah.
It just plays that whenever you interact with it. But when you pick it up and put it down, it does the sound like an amplifier getting plugged in and out, which is just chef's kiss kind of degrees. We did finally go ahead.
I was gonna say I got to die in 2 brand new unique ways to me.
Oh, fun.
One was because I was running away from something and could have sworn we were in a group of people, and I think it was a spider. I'm not 100% sure. But I could have sworn I had seen Moon go through a fire exit door, and he did, just not the one that I went through. So I got to be eaten by a mimic, which was cool.
Perfect.
And loud as hell as well.
Oh, yeah. And then the next one, I got killed by the shopkeep. Because I had asked, and everyone was like, oh, yeah, he was being impatient. No, I wasn't being impatient. I asked the question, did anyone ring the bell? No one said anything, so I rung the bell, and then that's when I got grabbed. And I was like, oh, this is cool.
We did have a bunch of really good runs. Like, I did put a stamina mod on, but it feels good. It doesn't feel overpowered. Like, it feels like it's just a little bit, like, quicker, a little bit longer. Like it feels like a good balance kind of level for it. There's just so much that happened. I put the Bilsiford mod on. Now this is something I've been teasing in our Lethal Company group chat. And I can announce what it is now that Bilsiford has seen what it is. So Bilsiford, we put some screenshots up in Discord a while ago when Bills first started playing. Because every single time he would see the apparatus, he would run into that room with the apparatus, grab it, and leave. No stopping him. No matter if that's the first room he sees, he's grabbing that thing, and he's leaving. Like that's
a moth
what he's doing.
to the flame.
Literally, we called him the Moth. There's a screenshot of him holding the apparatus and someone holding a sign saying the Moth. That is his profile picture on Discord. You can check that out on our Discord side. So I put in a mod. And I didn't know it did this, but now you need 2 people to pull the apparatus.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know it did that. I honestly had no idea that was one of the effects of the mod. Because the primary effect of the mod is the second you pull the apparatus, it turns the planet into nuclear meltdown mode, and you have 2 minutes to escape the planet.
No.
So everything starts exploding, like genuinely huge explosions in front of your face. Alarms go off, sirens go off. There's a big countdown and a robot voice saying, "Hey, things are about to go really far south. You might want to, get off the planet because the planet core is unstable now."
Goodness,
it's really horrifying.
Yeah, that's intense.
So the funny part is I ran into the new enemy type that I'd never seen before, one of the modded enemy types before, by myself, of course, because why not? Rob was at the ship watching the ship, and I was on the radio, like panicking a lot because it's a new enemy type and they're making horrific noises at me. And after that run, Rob said to me, "Yeah, I could like hear the fear in your voice. It was cool," and then laughed.
These are my friends.
And then, like 2 maps later, it's me and him at the apparatus, and like we pull the apparatus, and all of a sudden, he panics because he now has had the meltdown is about to happen because he didn't know. I knew, but no one else really knew. And all of a sudden, we're running for the exit as quickly as we can. And then, literally, as we get back on the ship, it's like, who's got the fear in their voice now, huh? It's really cool, isn't it? I was just like, Payback is a punk.
That's right.
I did buy him a shotgun, though, and then a bunch of shells. So now he's walking around like he's Raylan Givens from Justified.
Right.
Just like shooting fools with a shotgun. I don't know. Lethal Company's fun. I'm having a blast playing it. It's predictable, but the fact that we can mod it so much means it can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch more mods that I've already spotted that I'm interested in. Like, there's one called, I think it's called Smart AI, where when monsters go in front of turrets, it kills the monsters as well. And when they step on landmines, they hit the landmines as well.
Yeah.
So it's more fair in that direction. Problem is the landmine explosions are very large, so there's every chance that you're going to get got in the process. But stuff like this is just going to change it and tweak it as we play it, and just like add more variables each time. I don't know what the scary waving tube man person I found was, and I hope I never see him again. Like I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to figure out what his key is. I don't want to solve that problem. I just want to leave as quickly as I can. Lethal Company is great. And if you're interested, just hit us up, send me a message. I can get you some codes.
Yeah.
So you've got the new skeleton glow-in-the-dark suits that we all wore for the first time, which fun. I was hoping was going to freak out somebody.
It's glow stick suits, Boston. So it's like a skeleton made of glow sticks, except it actually glows in the dark. So that, like, when you're in the dark corridor, you can just see this outline of somebody. It's really good. Yeah, right, that's all I've been playing.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right. My week was fairly short, too, because I pretty much put all of my time and effort into Stellar Blade. And like I told these two before we started recording, I just rolled credits on it before we started recording. Yay. So that's how close I was to how much time I needed. All in all, I beat the game on normal. It took me about 45 hours.
Wow, that's pretty long.
Yeah, 45 hours and 34 minutes, and that's doing a good portion of all the stuff. Not everything, but I did do like all the side quests. I did do a lot of exploring, but I didn't explore everything. The last 3 bosses, and I'm not going to spoil anything story-wise as much as I really want to. The last 3 bosses were very much soul bosses, where I had to fight those several times before I could finally get like the timing down for countering and blocking and all that. And some of them are just so fast. But yeah, especially the last boss. It turns out that there are 3 endings, and I did do enough stuff to unlock the good ending.
Oh, nice.
But when you unlock the good ending, you also unlock the most difficult of the final bosses.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and that thing just rocked my world. There was a lot going on where it's just doing like all these super fast combos, and it's like this huge thing that you're fighting. And eventually it just got to a point where it's like, I'm not doing a ton of damage to this thing. I can't block everything it's throwing at me. It's doing like some of these unblockable attacks too, where I can get the blink down and I can sometimes get the other one down, but not all the time. And when it hits, it hurts real bad. So I was just, is there something I can do? And somebody was like, "Oh yeah, if you continue using the strategy of using skills that have the downed effect, this boss is a piece of cake."
Oh.
And I'm like, "What? What do you mean the strategy? I didn't know that there was a strategy behind this." So
Right.
what it is there are skills that the main 4 skills that you unlock. One of them has the ability to down an enemy, just makes them go flat-footed on the ground.
Okay.
And there's a couple other skills that you pick up along the way that also end up having this effect too once you've unlocked it. And what this person was talking about was apparently someone discovered a long time ago that all the bosses are susceptible to the downed effect. So you hit them, they fall on the ground, they're there for a little bit, and you can just sit there and wail on them.
Okay.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. So I change all of my equipment so that I'm regaining beta energy, which is what the skills use, so that anytime I do an attack, anytime I take damage, I'm gaining beta energy so I can just keep doing this. And that made that final boss like a walk in the park. It didn't hit me.
You're just
at
knocking
all.
it. It's laying on its back like a turtle the
Yeah.
entire time.
You then beat it. There's another section where it goes into like phase 2, but this is kind of just a goof off phase. You have unlimited health and energy at this point, so you just sit there and spam your favorite skill, and then you've beaten the game.
Nice.
But the entire time you've unlocked, depending on what, at least on my choice that I made for the ending, that I didn't know I was making a choice, you unlock a really cool looking outfit. That I really want, and apparently we do not get, except for when you're doing that boss fight.
Oh,
and
lame.
it's story related, but my god, it is a cool looking outfit. I'm really disappointed that we don't get that outfit right now. But now that I've beaten the game, I can do New Game Plus. Now that I've beaten the game, I can actually look at all the trophies and stuff. I had mentioned, I think it was Faeror had asked a while ago when I first started playing if there were any difficulty trophies. And I thought someone online had said that there was one for beating the game on hard. I don't see one in the trophy list. So it looks like you can just play on, story mode, and just breeze through the game no problem and get all the trophies with no issue.
Oh, nice.
But with New Game Plus, you pretty much unlock, or you keep everything that you've unlocked except for story related items.
Okay.
So all of your costumes, all of your collectibles, documents, cans, that stuff, all of your skills that you've unlocked to this point, all of your health and beta energy that you've unlocked to this point, you keep. And when you go into New Game Plus, it's supposed to add more skills, more costumes, and a bunch of other stuff as well. So I'm really thinking of replaying the game on story mode just to walk through it. There are trophies for each of the 3 endings. So if I do decide to platinum this, unless I'm going to cheese it, I would have to play it 3 different times, and I think I might actually do that depending. But there is also an update that just came out this week on the 23rd, which added boss challenge mode. I haven't played with any of this stuff yet, but this is basically, you can go through, and any boss that you have beaten in the story mode, you can go into boss challenge mode and you can fight against that boss. It gives you stats for, items that you've used, how long it took you to fight the boss, damage taken, settings used, because you can also pick, do you want to use a preset version of Eve that they've programmed for this fight, or do you want to use what your current version of Eve in the story mode is?
That's cool.
And I guess it sounds like too, there's a way for you to compare your stats with your fights with your friends online as well, outside of taking pictures. But from reading this, you can do, I think it's that there's 19 bosses altogether in the game, so you can go through and fight all 19 bosses if you want. It does unlock a new suit if you beat all of them on normal or higher. There were 2 brand new suits that were also introduced, or costumes that were introduced to the game that you get for free. You don't have to do anything for those; they just show up in your inventory.
Oh, nice.
They also added a new accessibility setting where your compass is always on at the top of your screen.
Oh, nice.
this wasn't really an issue for me because when you scan, that's when your compass pops up and you do like a whole, 360 scan of the area as you're walking around. You can just keep spamming that, and you eventually unlock a skill that makes the recharge faster and the scan last longer. So I didn't really have an issue with not having the compass up at the time. I think there was maybe one or two times where I've noticed it being an issue, but yeah, I am planning on probably beating this game on New Game Plus again, or just in general. But it's also really made me want to play Nier again.
Yeah,
because it's been so long, and I'm really fuzzy on a lot of the details with Nier.
Yeah.
Automata, not the original. So
I never played the original. I wish
the original was good. I really liked it. You didn't pick up the remake of the original?
No, I've been thinking about it, but like,
okay.
There's only been like 75 games that released so far this year that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So like,
what's 76? You know,
that's right. What's one more?
I do still have, what was it, the PS3 version of Nier, because they did change it between the two. For those that don't know, in the American version of the original release, you play as a father who's help protecting your daughter. In the original Japanese version, you were a brother protecting your sister. So the remake, you are playing as the brother protecting your sister.
Right.
So there is that little bit of difference. If you've read up on Nier and you get a little confused on what happened there, that's what happened. But there's, for Automata though, there's a lot of the story that is here in Stellar Blade, but I believe this takes this in a different direction, but not a completely different direction. There's a reveal at the end that's kind of like, I saw that coming since the game started.
Oh, gasp. Oh, no.
But the rest of the reveals that start to happen, it's like, all right, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. Yeah, it's a little different, but, it's still kind of the same, whatever. But all in all, though, I really enjoyed this game. If you are interested in getting this, like I said, I would for sure start with the demo and see if you like the combat and everything that's going on there. If you're still unsure, maybe wait for a sale. But wholeheartedly, I would say this is worth, what is it, $70? I think it is.
I think so. Yeah.
It's only PlayStation 5 right now. There have been rumors of it coming to PC eventually.
I'd be surprised if it didn't come to PC, at the very least.
I would be surprised too, but that's also part of my worry is, hey, we got modders, and this is a game about a woman who, has a lot of interesting costumes. There are too, if that's something that you have an issue with, there are a lot of normal clothes that you can get for Eve.
Yeah, like all you see on Twitter is the ones that people are having issues with because they're not quote unquote sexy enough. There's plenty of outfits that are just like, here's like a tactical suit.
I've unlocked 34 costumes by the time I beat the game. So there's a lot of options for you to pick and choose what you want to watch. There is one that my wife, I was playing the game and my wife came in to talk to me and she looks at me and she's like, "Sir, that dress is obscenely short." And I'm like, that dress is actually the least offensive one that I'm currently wearing.
All right, I'll put the teddy bear outfit back on.
I did show her the teddy bear too. I'm like, that one is my favorite. It just, that makes me laugh so hard whenever there's a cutscene. But yeah, it runs the gauntlet. So you can pick and choose whatever you want. I don't judge. Yeah. But it is a great game. I really enjoyed it. There a little bit of control issues here and there, but that's all I played this week. Like I said, I wanted to beat this game because I felt like I'd been at it for a while.
Right.
And I'm sure people are tired of listening to me talk about it, but
hey, I would the same thing with Lies of P, so
yeah, but I mean it's so much fun. Like I didn't feel like I was at 45 hours with this game. I felt like I put in a lot of time, but I didn't think I was at 45 hours, so it's great, especially with all the reviewers being like, I beat it in 20. It's like, then you didn't do anything in this game.
That's right. You were cooking, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I played this week.
I played more Balatro this week. I finally unlocked the entire collection. So all the tags and jokers and arcana cards and planet cards and all that. I have 100% completion on the collection now, which is great. So I've been working a sort of. So the big 1.0.1 patch came out on Switch and PlayStation platforms. It's coming soon on Xbox. It's not out quite yet. I've been a little bit beating my head against doing some of the higher stakes on some of the more difficult decks. So I said, well, let me just take a break. Let me do some of the challenge runs. I've done a couple of those, but haven't really been focusing on them yet. So I've really made that my focus this week. And I've unlocked 16 of the 20 challenges, and I've completed 11 of the 20 at this point. So I'm a little bit over halfway. They're getting really hard now. Really hard. Like, the one that I thought was going to give me a lot of trouble this week was called Fragile. You start with 2 eternal cards that are... So eternal means you can't sell or delete them or destroy them in any way. But you get 2 of them that are called Oops All Sixes. It's essentially a D6. And it doubles the chances of anything that has chances in them in the game. So if it says, like, this Joker has a 1 in 4 chance to do X, Y, or Z, now it has a 2 in 4 chance. You have 2 of those, so anything like that, where it has a 1 in 4 chance, it's now guaranteed to happen.
Okay.
The real
There is
trick...
a downside to this.
The downside of it...
Negative effect ones, like
The
glass cards, for example.
Yeah, guess what your deck is full of? 52 glass cards. So every time you play any card, it breaks and is removed permanently from your deck. It does give you double multiplier when you do play it. So I did a couple of runs and I'm like, all right, so clearly I need to build into just high card or pairs here. And maybe that will get me where I need to go. And I got essentially the perfect run where I got it's the Torn Joker, where anytime you play 3 or less cards, you get plus 20 multiplier. And I got Green Joker, which is it increases multiplier by 1 every time you play cards and decreases the multiplier every time you discard anything. Not discarding on that run. Let's roll with it. Most importantly, I got Space Joker, which has a 1 in 4 chance to increase the level of the card, the hand that you're playing. Except...
So a 4 in 4 chance.
Yeah, 4 in 4 chance. So every time I'm playing a card, that hand gets stronger. So I'm just playing 1 card, and by the time I finish that run, I think it was at level 35, high card was, so I'm just tossing 1 card down, and I'm beating the chip requirement pretty handily. So I got pretty lucky on that. I also got pretty lucky on the challenge called Bram Poker, which is essentially you start with the vampire card, which steals essentially benefits that you've applied to your playing cards. When it steals it, it increases your times multiplier on that card. And as part of this, you have the 2 vouchers where you can buy playing cards from the shop, and those playing cards have those enhancements applied to them already. So as long as you can kind of keep up enough money on that run, you're just increasing your multiplier pretty considerably every round, and that one turned out to be a lot of fun pretty quickly. The one that I'm stuck on right now, and I don't yet know how I'm going to do this, it's called Double or Nothing, and every card in your deck, it's a 52 card deck for this one, every card in your deck has a red seal on it, which means that card gets played twice every time you play it in hand. Which is great, except every time you play a card in this challenge, that card gets deactivated and debuffed. So you can play it again, but it's not going to do anything. What I had thought, because I was a fool, was that it would only get deactivated for that ante or that round or something. That's incorrect. It gets deactivated for that run. So you play 10 cards in your first round, ante one, round one. Those 10 cards are debuffed for the entire rest of the run. So, not entirely sure yet how I'm gonna beat that one. And I'm sure people that are listening are gonna say like, "Oh, we'll just go look up the solution." That's not the fun, though. Like, I want to run into, it handing me one card. Like, I'm sure I don't know what the card is called. It's like the one that when you start a new round, it gives you a new card, a new playing card in your hand. That one is probably going to be key to that. Hopefully I can maybe like duplicate that or something. But I like going into a challenge and like beating my head against it a couple of times and then seeing a card in the shop and being like, oh wait, maybe that works, and sort of like crafting a cool run out of that Joker as kind of the linchpin for a run. So I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them that I'm struggling with. There's one I think it's called X-Ray Vision, where every card played has a 1 in 4 chance to be drawn face down. So a lot of it is just like, okay, I'm just playing stuff. Let's see what I got going on here. That one seems pretty straightforward. Of like, if you can get the Joker that makes every card turn into a face card, and then get any of the like face card buffing ones, probably make that run a lot easier. But we'll see. I don't know. Balatro is really great still. That's usually my kind of wind down game, or the game I can kind of play when I'm in between doing stuff. And Balatro is really, really great. Next game here, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, continuing to play some of this. So there's a couple of stats in the game. And when you go interact with a computer to save your game, you can display a bunch of stats where it's like, how many of the puzzles have you solved in each individual area? And I am only solving puzzles basically inside of the hotel, the kind of main area that you're playing in. Seems like there's a whole bunch of other areas that I have not even run into whatsoever. And there's another stat that's basically like truth uncovered or something like that. That seems to be the main, kind of your main progression to getting to the end of the game. That's at about 20% now. So I'm making pretty good progress in the game. I was stuck in this game for quite a while this week because I had forgotten that there's the like list of things that you've run into that you need solutions for, and there were like 2 or 3 of them that was basically like, one of them, it's very early on, one of them was like, hey, you need to call this dude in room this number, and I was like, oh, okay, I should probably just go dial the phone and put that number in, and then, oh yeah, okay, now the story is progressing. So I really appreciate the game having that, because that saved me a couple of times this week, just being like, where I'm running circles around this hotel. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Oh, right. I should probably just look at the list of things I should be doing. That will probably help me quite a bit. So again, greatly appreciated that is in the game. That has been saving my bacon quite a bit. I also really appreciate, this is a thing that I think people struggle with in puzzle games a lot. There are a bunch of books you pick up pretty early in the game that are like, I appreciate the game doesn't assume you know this stuff. It's like, how do 24-hour clocks work? How do Roman numerals work? How do you translate this stuff into different different languages and stuff like that. Like, what are the phases of the moon? I really appreciate that all of that stuff is in the game, so that you don't have to go elsewhere or like hit a wiki or whatever to go figure out how this stuff works that you might not realize. I'm also assuming that there are some puzzles hidden inside of that, because that's the sort of game this game is, but we'll see when that comes to it. But Lorelei and Laser Eyes, still really enjoying it. I'm still, just like Balatro, I'm not looking up any of the solutions for this, because I'm sure it's like, oh, you run into this door that has this number on it, here's the keypad solution. Like, that's not what I'm looking for in this game. I'm looking to say, like, oh, I ran into this number at some point. I'm going to scribble this down in my notebook that says, like, where's this number at? 1975. And then eventually I'll run into a door or keypad or something. I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's where this number goes. Cool.
Yeah.
So still really enjoying it. Not sure how long this is or whatnot, but so far I'm really having a fun time playing this until my brain gets tired of doing puzzles, and then be like, all right, I'm done with this for today. I'll come back to it another day. So, and last game I'm playing this week is Cat Quest. not exactly the newest game here, but this was added.
What is this, Boston?
Yeah,
RPG.
This was added to PS Plus, the first and second game, pretty recently. And
so I've seen this go on sale on the Xbox a few times and be like, do I want to go down this hole? I don't know.
It's a very short kind of hack and slash cute action RPG, like really light on the RPG though. It's an RPG in the sense that you're equipping like gear and stuff, but it's not the hugest thing. You're getting experience and leveling up. Just like that kind of doesn't matter. You're doing a lot of like rolling around and hacking and slashing and casting magic and stuff like that. It's very cute art style, very fun writing. Seems like it's probably
Tell me about the beans. I need to know about the beans.
I don't know if I've seen too many toe beans yet. Maybe that will be a joke here pretty soon, but it seems like it's going to be a handful of hours. It's super light lifting, which is really what I wanted right now, which was just I want something that's actiony. Moon and I have been playing Returnal on We Rogue Like It. I want something that's actiony, but that isn't going to kick my teeth in at every turn, and that has really been Cat Quest so far. It does have some really smart systems inside of it. Like when you pick up a piece of gear, you can equip, it's like a hat, a weapon, and a like a piece of armor, like chest armor essentially. When you pick up multiple copies of the same piece of armor, it upgrades the stats on that piece of armor just as soon as you pick it up. So if you pick up like a regular sword and it does 5 damage and gives you 3 extra health, next time you pick up that same sword, it's going to add maybe 3 damage and 2 health on top of that. So I kind of like that you have... It's not like, well, I liked this sword and I liked what it did, or I like this magic staff, but, that was from 5 hours ago, so you're definitely not going to use that anymore or anything like that. And they have a really cool armor system here where when you equip stuff that has an armor stat on it, that kind of overlays on top of your health bar, and it actually, your health doesn't regen, but that armor stat regens. So every couple of seconds it ticks up one more and kind of covers your health bar, and then when that armor bar has been depleted, that's when you start taking health damage on top of that. So there's some cool stuff in here, but a lot of it is just really, I'm wandering around this isometric overworld doing side quests for a bunch of other cats. A lot of the locations are cat puns, and the pause menu, I didn't notice this until my kid pointed out, the pause menu is just PAWS instead of PAUSE, so like, you're kind of getting a lot of cat puns throughout this entire thing. And you're on a big mission to save your sister who got kidnapped by the bad guy. And that's kind of your only story in the game so far. I think I've played maybe about an hour and change in it. And so far I'm having a blast. It seems exactly like what I would want this game to be based on kind of the cover art and trailers I've seen of this game. It's this really light, kind of fun, kind of kid-friendly, silly action RPG hack and slash quest. So
I'll say, does this fill into the category that we talked about last week of maybe your first RPG to try?
yeah, might be. Like I've been. It's maybe a little bit more difficult on the hack and slash stuff, so I think it might not be maybe the first video game for someone to try. But I think if you have, especially someone younger that is looking for, a longer kind of 6 to 8 hour, I think, kind of RPG epic that you're not going to worry about, violence or storytelling or anything like that, but they can kind of, they know their way around a controller. I think this might be kind of a good game for them. Yeah, Cat Quest is great. I have Cat Quest 1 and 2 downloaded. I know Cat Quest 3 comes out later this year, and I thought, why not just try it? Because I need something that's kind of a little bit lighter lifting after, the 1-2 punch of Returnal and Pacific Drive being the polar opposite of these of this game. So, yeah, Cat Quest is great. So far, not a lot to talk about there. Just go play it. Go try it out. It's on
Not that
PS
we're
Plus.
predictable or anything going for fluffy after serious.
Yeah, exactly. And, something cat-friendly here. Yeah. But that's all I'm playing this week, so let's take a break. Oh, man.
I did forget to mention in pre-show, I turned in points so I could get the, with Nintendo, so I could get the Tears of the Kingdom keychain because my son wanted it.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't want to pay $6 just for shipping for a keychain.
Right.
What else did you get?
Metroid Prime Remastered, because they had the physical copy there for like $39.
That's
not
not
like,
bad.
hell yeah. No. So picked that up. That way the $6 shipping could be
For
fine,
something more
whatever.
useful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now my son is playing Metroid Prime Remastered, and he is really liking it. And I keep yelling at him to stop looking at a strategy guide.
That's right. Scan everything, buddy. Just go for the ride.
He had one because he got to a room and he couldn't go through it because it was super hot. And I'm like, oh, you need the suit upgrade. And he's like, yeah, and I don't know where it's at. And I'm like, well, pull up your map.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, but it doesn't say where to go. I'm like, of course it does. You see all that space that you haven't been in yet? Figure out how to get there.
A hallway leeds to empty space. Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to look up a guide. He's like, I'm going to take your phone away so that
That's
you
right.
can't look up a guide. Like, you need to figure this out.
You're missing the point of a Metrovania.
Yeah,
You
but he really
left-
likes it.
Turn left down a hallway, and here's a brand new zone because I turned right before.
Yeah, he unlocked the bombs for the morph ball. This is like, oh, so you got to learn how to bomb jump now? And he's like, yeah, that's kind of difficult. I'm like, yep. It always is your first time.
So practicing, man. Yep. Oh man. All right, you guys ready to do the second part of this show?
Sure.
All right. Oops, messed up the show notes here. All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of May 27th, 2024. Multiverses comes back to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC. If you didn't see this earlier, this is WB Games' take on the platform fighter, aka Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers. Yep.
Yeah, with all the WB peeps. This was fairly well received when it came out originally and seemed like it was doing super well, and then very suddenly they were like, yeah, anyways, we're taking it offline and just not, you can't play it anymore because we're gonna work on it.
We all assumed this wasn't coming back, right?
100%. I thought this was dead, 6 feet under. Like, no way this was coming back, and it's back and seems like it's in a really good spot. A lot of the previews and a lot of the hands-on coverage that people have been playing with this, it seems like it's in a really great spot. Kind of maybe even better than when it went offline. So I don't know, man.
Jason is in it now, and his ultimate is his Jason X outfit. I'm fine.
That's great.
I'll never play it, but I'm fine.
Yeah, it seems cool. I know there's some people in the community that are really excited about it, so I'm curious to see how this goes when it launches here this week. So
I know it's doing well because like it's super referential to each of his core subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not to harp on Jason, but when Jason does his throw, he puts you in a sleeping bag and spins you around in a circle and throws you.
Pretty good. I think the only thing that I'm curious about, seeing how kind of the wider audience deals with this, because this is free to play. This time, I believe the original was. Maybe it was free to play, but they pushed the
it had a
founders pack
thing.
Yeah, they pushed that pretty hard. This is much slower than Smash Brothers, and I think when I watch trailers of this, I haven't gotten hands on this. Watching trailers of this is sort of like, oh, okay, that's pretty slow compared to kind of what I think of when I think of Smash Brothers. So we'll see how people deal with that. I think it being free to play is kind of the right choice to make here, so we'll see how it gets adopted. But coming out this week, check out Multiverses. Next game here is 9 Souls. That is SOLS. Souls coming out on PC and OS X. It's a very cool looking hand-drawn 2D action platformer. They say it's a Sekiro inspired deflection focused combat. So if you're sort of looking for something like that,
no.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood right now for something that is.
I can't parry. I don't know how many times I have to say that.
Video games, he can't parry. Stop parrying. So I think if you're looking for something that is kind of that like parry deflection melee thing, looks from a platforming standpoint, this looks really, really cool. Highly recommend checking out a trailer. The art style is really great. Looks really, really interesting. So I would check out 9 Souls. I think that looks really neat while we wait for Silksong coming any day now. Am I right, guys?
Yeah. Where's that image of him on the bench with the clown makeup on? I need to show you that again.
I should just save that here in the live stream. I can just pop it over my own face when I mention Silksong. Yeah. Next game here, Humanity, comes out on Xbox One and Series consoles. This is coming out Game Pass day and date. This is the Shiba Inu Lemmings puzzle game that came out on PlayStation almost a year ago to the date. Made by the same devs that made Tetris Effect. And it's seems really cool. People really liked this. They're coming out with they came out with a ton of patches and a ton of support after it launched on PS5, and it looks like all that stuff is coming to this version day one, like the community levels and be able to create levels and create your own puzzles and stuff like that. So that has had way more interest and support than I would have expected out of. I feel like sometimes when companies put out like creating your own puzzle things, that either the community runs with it or it's kind of DOA, and it seems like the community has really loved it this time. So Humanity is cool. So check it out. If you're looking for a cool puzzle game, it's on Game Pass. Check out Humanity. F1 24 is coming out this week. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC. The official video game of 2024 FIA Formula One World Championship. That's it's coming out. You know what this is. It's an F1
It's
racing
a Formula
game.
One game.
Yeah, but it's not the like F1 management one. This is the in the car cockpit kind of racing game. So looks beautiful as they kind of all do. So we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see how this one
I
does.
still. Is this Codemasters?
I actually don't know. Let me look up real quick.
Because I know part of the problem is that EA bought the licenses, bought a bunch of racing studios. So I'm pretty sure this might be a Codemasters joint, and it's
This is
probably also an EA
Codemasters.
game.
Yep. Yeah. EA's publishing. It is developed by Codemasters. Yeah. So it's
Yeah, who
Probably
EA
be
owns
pretty
now.
good.
So great.
yeah.
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 Where's my my F1 Ultimate Team cards? Is what I want to know.
Where's your
When they
F1
figure out a
They're in
way,
there. They're in
Yeah.
there.
you know.
Yeah. Where's my F1 getting off the track and then going to the slot machines? Here we go. Ka-ching.
I've seen so many horror stories of playing these games online with other people, where it's
Oh,
like if
yeah.
you get in the wrong group, it goes horrible very
I
quickly.
I bet.
And I'd be afraid to be that one person in a group of people who play these games religiously, and I'm just
Yeah,
like
playing it for
bumping into
real.
walls and crap, trying to figure out why is the car not turning as much as I need it to.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh well.
Next game here, Picross S Namco Legendary Edition comes out on the Switch. This is for nonogram sickos like me. The same company that makes all of these on the Switch is coming out with another one. I think this is their 11th or 12th one, because it's like S1 through S9, and then they had that really good Mega Drive and Genesis one that I really recommend. That's actually a really good starter one. So I'm really excited for this one to come out, because that Genesis and Mega Drive one went a little bit deeper into the archives than I was expecting. So we'll see if we get some cool stuff here out of this Namco one. So
Say Namco's got a lot of games.
yeah,
Sure.
and like a super long history too. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Because I was just sitting here thinking, it's like, what has Namco released recently? And then I was like, oh wait, they're Bandai Namco now. So
yeah, so they're not releasing anything.
yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. Last game here we have is the Rogue Prince of Persia comes out on PC in early access this week. It's made by Evil Empire, which is the original Dead Cells developer. This is the really cool looking Prince of Persia roguelike that they're coming out with that stylistically looks incredible. Yeah, and like from a gameplay perspective, just watching some of the trailers looks really, really cool. Really interested to see how much content is here in the early access. Probably not going to pick this up until it comes out full release. I think Moon and I have been bitten by too many early access games in general, especially roguelikes. That, you know, I love Dead Cells, but we'll let this one stay in the oven for a while here. But if you haven't seen, especially the art style here, looks really great. And after Dead Cells, I'm going to assume that this is going to be pretty good, because Dead Cells is really great. If you're looking for something to play in the meantime while you're waiting for this to come out, go play Dead Cells. It has like 50 years worth of content in it. It's an incredible game. So
yeah. And I'm already seeing confusion online. It's like, oh, didn't this already come out? It's like, no, that was the other.
That's
Prince of
another
Persia
incredible
game.
Prince of Persia game. Yeah, God, yeah. The Lost Crown is so good. I'm really worried about that getting forgotten this year because it came out so early this year, but The Lost Crown is really, really great. Go check that out.
I have that. I just haven't started it yet.
Well, now that you finished Liza P, start a brand new game. There you go. It's all ready. Game Pass games coming out this week. Moving Out 2 is coming out Game Pass, which is really great. And then Lords of the Fallen, which I'm not even going to look up to see if that's Lords of the Fallen or Lords of the Fallen. I don't know which one it is. I don't really care. It's
I would
either the
assume
first
it's
one or the
the
second one.
2014
It's the new
Lords
one,
of the
I
Fallen.
believe.
Oh, is it the new one?
Who knows?
It's the new one.
They both have
Okay,
the
yeah.
same title. Who knows?
Yeah, they're both completely different games. They're both
Made by
Souls
the same
likes,
team.
but
Yeah.
As
yeah.
well, I believe.
Yeah, it's the same. Drives me. Anyways, let's move on to questions here. We have a bunch of people that send us some very wonderful questions from our Discord server. Don't forget that you can send us over in the the podcast questions channel in the Discord server. If you're not over there, hit up discord.tvgp.tv. Come hang out with us and chat. Send us some questions. Talk about food a lot. You got that hot food tip about what gross food is coming to our favorite fast food places? Let us know. We'll talk about it in the Outcast, undoubtedly.
You want to talk about Taco Bell's hidden menu?
That's right. That's right. The secrets. Pharaoh Rain sent us a question here. It says, what is the game from your childhood that you remember playing a bunch and never finishing, but wish it was around today to finish? For me, it's the original Dungeon Siege. I sank tons of time into it, but never made it to the finish.
I can give you two.
Oh, okay.
Shadow of the Ninja, which the remake is coming out soon.
Okay.
I've only ever really played co-op, and even then not great, because I was a child. The one that I literally cannot play anymore, Dune 2000.
Oh, okay.
For those of you who don't know, Dune 2000 is arguably the birth of the real-time strategy game, and it's obviously based on something that I adore.
Yeah.
So that's a game I played a lot of, but never actually beat. I mostly just went into skirmishes and built stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. I don't really have anything for this. Like, I'm sitting here trying to think, but I didn't play video games a whole lot as a kid, and what few I did have, I played all the time. That's why I have so much time in the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, we had we rented games occasionally from the Blockbuster, but the renting games back then, at least for us, was more expensive than renting movies. So a lot of times it was just like, why am I going to spend $5 to rent this game for 2 days when we could just spend like $2.50 to rent a movie and just be done with it? Like, why would we do that? So like,
I remember that too, because movies you used to have for like the whole week for like a few bucks, but video games, it was like 2 or 3 days for like $10 or something.
If you were lucky, it was 3 days, and you'd be like, well, for the whole weekend, I don't have to bring it back like Sunday morning. This is great.
Well, Family Video had it where you could rent 2 games for $3.50 over the weekend.
That's a great deal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. I don't think we had any Family Video near us when we were growing up. It was like either Blockbuster, it wasn't Hollywood Video for a while, and then there was like a family owned place, the one with like the doors to the back for the the grown-up section, quote unquote. But like that
this generation doesn't know what we're talking about.
The beaded curtain so that you're always like trying to peek in and be like, what's back there? But like, I don't think they rented video games for a really long time, so it was really just Blockbuster for us. I think the two that stand out for me the most are, number one, Kid Chameleon. We talked about that when Moon started going through his Genesis collection here, of just like, I'm gonna rent this and we're gonna play it for 2 straight days, and I'm not even like 50% of the way through this miserable slog of a game. Like, how much more of this game is there? It was very much like, I don't know if you guys played Rampage when you were kids.
Yes. Yep.
And you make your way around the US, and then like by the time you get to like the kind of the northwest of the US, every level is like a 2-pixel slice. It's not like, I'm doing New York and I'm doing like the Midwest now. It's just like, here's a fraction of a state. It was like that playing Kid Chameleon. My other one was Chippendale Rescue Rangers for the NES. I just had to look it up here. That was another one we rented a couple of times because it was so blisteringly difficult for whatever age I was at the time, combined with like it being a little bit inscrutable, like games of that era could be, where it's like, what am I supposed to do in this level at all? And I think it was one of the first games I can think of where it expected you to know that if you just held down and jumped, you would go down through a platform, but you don't have the instruction manual for that. So that was like the first time I ran into that in a game where it's like, how do I get down from where I am now to below me? How is this supposed to happen? So that's, I remember really enjoying that game, but also never managing to finish it. I think we probably rented it a handful of times. It was just like, this isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Just we gotta
Castle
rent
of
something
Illusion is
different.
another good one there.
Oh yeah,
Was that another one that I was just thinking of? I guess Vector Man on the Genesis would be one. I
Yeah.
got really far. That was one I never owned but kept renting,
ditto.
and I got really far into that game, and I don't think I ever beat that game.
That was hard.
And then the X-Men game on the Genesis, because that was the one that you get to that mainframe computer up in space.
Yep.
And I didn't know what you were supposed to do. I couldn't get past that. And I think it wasn't until recently it randomly came up on like a TikTok or something where it keeps telling you to reset the computer.
Yeah,
but
you
you're
have to
supposed to
actually
hit
reset
reset
the
on the
menu.
console.
Yeah, like how do I reset the computer?
Yeah. And
Yep.
I think that just randomly came to mind too. So I think, okay, yeah, there's my two games right there. One because X-Men was being a fool of a game, and the other one was because it was just too hard.
Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, that's all the questions we have for this week. I think I saw some more in there, but we'll save those here for future weeks. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in. We appreciate it. Again, discord.tvgp.tv if you want to send us some questions or just hang out and chat. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page, including a link to Discord server, our YouTube channel. Please go over and support the YouTube channel. Help us game the algorithm in the best way we can by liking, comment, subscribing, all of that good stuff. Reminder that anything that goes on the public feed has a video version along with it as well. So if you want to see us talking about it or see the list of roguelikes over at weroguelikeit.com, if you want to see, for this show, often we're playing the trailers or the gameplay alongside with what we're talking about. You can see all of that over there on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit us up over at patreon.com/E1M1.
Ones and numbers.
The $5 a month tiers are recommended one, fun for a $5. Again, that is per month, not per week or per episode. So it's a very great value. I've been sitting here thinking about the food cast we were talking about and getting progressively way hungrier.
My stomach just growled.
Yeah. So see if you can rewind that a little bit. See if you can pick that up. Go support us over there. If you can't support us financially, totally understand. Best way to support us, share us on whatever social media platform you're on. Review us on whatever podcatcher you listen to us on, if you can, like the Apple Podcasts or the Google one or the Spotify. All of those really, really do help. That for any podcast you like, rating and reviewing it helps so much with discovery and helps so much with the algorithm that helps your favorite creators a whole ton. I cannot understate how much that does really help. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
I refreshed my YouTube page here, and I watch a lot of the Food Wars stuff on Insider Food, where they do like, here's what Subway has in the U.S. and here's what Subway has in the U.K. And like the combinations. And this one is like Mexico versus U.S. Burger King, and they're holding up a Whopper that looks so good right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry.
I'm just saying, you're not that far away. You could drive that distance. Is all I'm saying.
That's right.
Somebody's just making it through the border. It's like, what? Why are you coming to Mexico to get a
want a
Whopper?
Burger
No,
King.
no.
I want a double Whopper with some bacon on it, man.
I saw a commercial.
That's
The
right.
Mexican Whopper looks great.
That's right.
I'm bringing capitalism to your country.
That's right. Get ready. All right. Nimp, what are your titles?
I have The Golden Lie. If I Fits, I Sits. The Vibes Are Bad. Black Sky Game. These Are My Friends. And this week on the Foodcast.
Oh, boy. All right, Moon, what do you have?
This is going to be a rough one. A solved problem. Tell me about the beans. Something cat friendly, and I can't parry.
I unequipped it and uninstalled. The Golden Lie, the vibes are bad, and these are my friends, question mark? One of my standouts here is definitely these are my friends, question mark. Just because it's the question mark adds a little bit of fun sauce on it. Is there anything that's standing out for you guys?
Nothing's jumping out this week.
All
No.
of them are kind of okay. There's no like easy winner.
I'm good with these are my friends. Question mark.
That's right. The most important part. All right.
I'm fine with that.
I'll circle it.
I'm ready.
Oh my. I gotta remember to pick out a roguelike to recommend this week. It's my homework. Pick out a good one. Hopefully. Nothing more heartbreaking than playing a roguelike you've been looking forward to playing and then be like, oh no, this is actually
rough.
real bad.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this trailer looked super cool. Nope, this game's real not good.
Okay, I'm good.
All right.
Out
Starting
of
in...
context, but I'm good.
I'll take it. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 866 from May 27th, 2024. These are my friends?
All cats are friends.
If they don't push you off a cliff, they're not worth keeping around.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out.
Also very cat-like.
Yeah, exactly. Hanging out with us, being cool, being the best community on the internet. We greatly appreciate it. We hope we'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.